Hello everyone, Chuck Northside Guy with part 2 of 2 of my 2021 collecting year. This video focuses exclusively on my T206 pickups. I have 19 cards and some special artifacts from the set that I'd like to share with you. I think if you follow my videos through the years, you'll see my progression in how I collect T206. There's a lot to learn. And in the first year, I was really kind of inching my toes into the water, trying to find my way forward and to find how I want to collect this set. And I am determined that I'm going to really make this decades long collecting journey, because I really want to collect them in higher grades. I want to collect them with a special provenance, whether broken up famous collections. And as you're going to see here, I've really, in this year, tried to collect the single best graded example of players in certain backs. And as a side project, I'm trying to collect as many different kinds of backs. I think there's 38 or 39 of them, unique backs. I have 18 thus far. And in the year ahead, I want to add another 5 or 6 unique backs. And so, more to come there. But as you can tell, I'm all in on Joe Lake, who for some reason appears 3 times in the T206 set. In each of the examples you see in front of you, you'll see the single highest graded example, and none are graded higher of the respective backs. I won this in a heritage auction back in January of 2021. One of, I think, 7 that Heritage had, busting up the famous David Hall T206 collection. This is a Cycle 460, which is kind of a rarer back. So I want to point that out, in addition to it being, the highest graded example, albeit it's a 5. Each one of these is just, I'm done collecting Joe Lake, I guess. All right, next up, 3 more from that same auction, and by Heritage, of the David Hall collection. And again, these are each the single highest graded example of the card with the particular back. This is a Sweet Cap 350 to 460. Old Mill, obviously. It's a PSA 6.5 of Orville overall. And this is a 350 to 460 it's a 42, factory 42 overprint. So actually, this is one of the most expensive cards in my collection. It's extremely rare. The final card from the January Heritage auction of the David Hall collection is this Admiral Schley, and it too is the highest graded Old Mill example of Admiral Schley, none graded higher. So special cards, I'm going to call them high end. I know they aren't PSA 7, 8, or 9, but there aren't very many of those around, and I wasn't winning those auctions. I was trying, didn't win. Moving on, in July, Heritage wrapped up its David Hall T206 collection. And here's some more that I picked up. Here's some of those winnings. Again, each card you see here is the single highest graded example of this player in that back. Beautiful cards. They're just wonderfully centered, and I really look for the centering. I'm a big corners guy. The colors just pop in person. I typically have these cards displayed in my display case right above my desk here at home, my home office desk. All right. And I went, just as with Joe Lake, I went all in with Simon Nichols. How about that? And here's another Orville overall. All of these are PSA 6, and each one of them is the single highest graded example, none graded higher, of this player in that back. So at this point in my collection, about 65% of my collection is our highest graded example, none higher. When I find them, I'm an active bidder. Very competitive races. Non-heritage, I was able to find this Tommy Leach, I can't remember where. That's highest graded, none higher. And then things fall apart. Then I just find some that are less than 10, but I think they're just beautiful players. And I'm trying to get 5 or 6s. And Fred Snodgrass, Ed Abbacchio. I'm Italian, I should know how to pronounce that, but beautiful colors. Before I show the last 3, let me point out these are pickups from the National in Chicago in 2021. And I've shown these before. They're just gorgeous. They're cigarette boxes, Sweet Cap, Piedmont, EPDG, and then this case of American Beauty. And I just think these are wonderful artifacts because, of course, the T206 were, cigarette cards. And it's interesting to see, what held the T206 cards. You can imagine them slipped in there with probably 4 or 5 cigarettes, and it really gets a different level of connecting with the set. Picked up this T206 Lou Ritter, Frank Oberlin, and then in a very expensive auction, I finally completed my Tinker to Evers to Chance Bat. There he is with Bat. I think these are gorgeous cards. They happen to be a pink background. They pop. I love the centering on each of these cards. The corners are sharp, crisp, no creases. So I'm very fortunate. These T206, I'm taking my time, but as I add to my T206 collection and really try to get the quality, they just look spectacular. Everyone that I add adds a different kind of feeling to the mosaic of the overall that I'm building. And so I'd rather really take my time, get those high quality examples. And I'm hoping over time, a decade or 2, I'll have several hundred of these and really have a really even more special collection. But the joys of collecting these cards, there's just so many angles that provide joy. When I look to buy these cards, it's almost like a Swiss Army knife. I look to get a high quality card in the form of centering, in terms of, I also want the colors to pop. I also want it ideally in a PSA 6 or greater. I want, none higher. So I'm trying to do a lot of things with each purchase because, these aren't cheap. And so when you're I hate to use the word investing, but when you're putting this much money to work, it is investing. I don't intend to, sell these for many, many, many decades to come. But boy, I'm having one hell of a ride with it, and it's one I'm going to continue on in 22. How many am I going to get? I don't know. I'm always looking, always on with it, and typically it rains, it pours, and that's typically one of these auction houses breaking up an old set. So stay tuned. I hope to have more to share with you. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey, and thanks for tuning in. If you watched both videos, I'm most obliged, and I've enjoyed watching so many of yours. Take good care, everyone. Bye now.